Hello, mutant investors. This week I will be talking about Warren Buffett's comments about the Activision purchase from Microsoft. It's an arbitrage event, and I thought I would just spend a little bit of time talking about it because I think that it's illustrative of what we try to do here at Special Situations Investing with me, Greg, your host. Check it out. Hey everyone. Welcome back to another edition of my YouTube channel on Special Situations Investing and my personal investing practice. As a quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. Any companies that I mention in this presentation are discussed solely for illustrative purposes. Discussing such companies and the specifics about them is to help educate me and educate you about certain special situations. It is not a solicitation to purchase them. I recommend that you conduct your own research and identify why you might want to own the company yourself prior to your committing of any funds. I also recommend that you seek the services of a financial advisor that has considered your personal situation as your fiduciary. And then finally, may your education here grow your knowledge, improve your personal investing performance, and give you the confidence to take control of your future. Thanks a bunch for watching. Now on to the video. Every year, Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, gets together with his shareholders and he has these marathon-long shareholder meeting where he gets to go out there and he talks to the actual shareholders and answers questions that they have about the economy, about all sorts of different things. And one of the things that I notice from time to time is that he talks about things that I find to be very instructive. And in this case, it was extremely instructive, and it was actually part of this channel, or at least a topic that's very similar to the stuff that I talk about on this channel, and that is on an arbitrage experience that he was having with Activision Blizzard. So back in January, Activision Blizzard, they had an offer from Microsoft to be purchased at, I think it was $95 a share. And so Activision, their share price jumped up into the 80s in anticipation of such an event. And Warren Buffett decided that he would spend a little bit of time, because he knew, and he likes to be as fully transparent as possible with his shareholders, he knew that his position in Activision might get over that 10%, and he wanted to kind of just make sure that people understood why he was doing it. And he said he was doing it because he wanted to participate in this merger and do part of this and participate in that activity. It's almost exactly the same type of thing that we do. It's very similar to what we talked about recently with Twitter and how I was participating in that one. And there's some other things that I think are important because Warren, he does a very good job at helping people understand what it is that he does, and he tries to make it as simple as possible for the lay investor like you or I. So I want to go through the 4 different things that he was talking about that kind of explain this experience. So first and foremost, he says, once an offer like that is on the table and there's this definitive agreement for something that's going on, it changes the actual security. It turns into what he said 50 years ago they called workouts, and that's similar to what Marie Schiller would have used to describe them as well. He says that what changes on this company, and on any company that is participating in these, is that the value is dependent on whether or not that corporate event occurs. And the second thing that he was very specific about, and I think that it's very specific in the writings of Marie Schiller, is that it's a corporate event that has been announced and that there's a time frame for. Warren talks about how the profit in these things is limited. It's not like the corporate event has already been announced. It's unlikely that it's going to change the amount of the purchase price, but it could. And usually it's a set amount, and in this case, they have a set amount for the share price. And then finally, Warren says, and So we own these shares, but if the deal blows up, we know, the share price might drop back down to 40 or something like that. And so that is, in a nutshell, the very basics of merger arbitrage. And I thought that it was kind of instructive to look at Warren Buffett and kind of look at this deal and just kind of get an idea. Now, in full disclosure, I don't know for sure where Warren Buffett's position is on this and if it's changed. However, he does talk about how he thought that up in $81 a share, it was a little bit too much. So let's just do a quick little rounding of numbers and kind of get an idea of what he might be thinking, or what someone might want to think if they wanted to participate in something like this. So let's say that the share price, went down to $80 a share or less, and the deal is still on the table as far as we know. Warren said that he just read the report, just like we do. We read the report and then we make an assessment and we make a decision, and Warren Buffett did the same thing. Let's say he decided to do that and he bought it at about $80 a share. Well, if he buys at $80 a share and the merger goes through at that $95 a share price, then that represents a $15 a share profit for all of the money that he's put into it. If that happens, that means that he would earn on a total return of about 18, almost 19%. Now, that gives you kind of some insight onto what he's looking for on risk and about how far he wants to go on risk. Some other things to think about, as he said, he owns about just under 9%, or around 9.5% of the company, which that puts him somewhere in the $5 to $6 million billion range for Activision Blizzard. And if that's the case, that doesn't represent more. That represents a very small percentage of his actual overall cash reserves at Berkshire Hathaway, cash and cash equivalents. And so it's not like it's a huge amount of money that he threw into this, but it is something that I think it's instructive of how Warren Buffett thinks, because it's nearly a 20% return. It's likely to happen in the next next 18 months or so. 6 to 18 months probably is what you could expect. And it's in a gaming company of all things, and it's so that he can prepare or participate in this merger. And so anyway, I thought it was interesting and instructive to look through what Warren Buffett did. I would like to let you know that I am not participating in this one at this time, but that doesn't mean that I may not, that I won't in the future. I might have to do some more digging and see if I do want to participate in this one in one way or another. So anyway, thanks a bunch for watching, and we will catch you next week.